First things first, the controls. You're going to pan around the map by pressing your middle mouse button or by pressing Control on your keyboard. You're going to want to hold left click to place your headquarters down, left click and drag to select your units, or you can just left click, and right click to tell your troops to go somewhere. I'm going to tell them to go here, now I'm going to tell them to go there. Now I'm going to tell them to go and mine that stuff by just right clicking on the creep, and voila. Now they're going to automatically go and deposit. This is going to keep happening throughout the rest of the game, unless you tell them to do otherwise, or they run out of creep to mine. You're going to want to hold down on your mouse and drag out to pull up the UI for placing a new node. If you double click on a node, it brings up the pie menu. You cannot click. If you try clicking, it'll do nothing. I'm going to place a generator by swiping in the direction of generator off of the pie menu. A generator is responsible for producing energy faster. Energy is up here in the corner on the right side. A headquarters also produces energy. Oh no, would you look at that? My troops are stuck. Why is that? It's because I am full of material. Material is up to the left of energy in that top left corner. Number one starting trick right here, you're going to want to place your containers and your headquarters off the start as close to the creep as you can to gather it as efficiently as possible. They can store 300 material each. Now they're depositing. Now they're going back to mining. Now that I have a lot of resources, I'm going to show you the rest of the node types and what they do. I'm going to make this a splitter. Splitters are very useful for creating new branches off of your base to branch out from more than the starting 4 branches. This is a spawner. It spawns more troops. You double click a spawner, it'll spin if you have enough resources, and pop out another troop. I'm going to tell them to go mine. This is a factory. You fill a factory up with 4 units total, and now I can evolve it into a different troop type. These troop types are great for attacking and for utility purposes. Using the factory, I've created a miner, a shooter, and a deflector. I'll go over the behavior of these troops at the end of the video. I'm going to turn this node into a battery. Batteries will increase your energy capacity that you can store. A cool property of batteries is that unlike regular nodes, they can extend out much further. We have already been over generators and containers, so it's time to move on to cannons and walls, your defensive node types. I'm now going to fortify the left side of my base with walls. Walls are tricky to get correct, so I highly recommend placing a wall first and then extending your new nodes off of them, because then you get a cool little effect that tells you if it will connect or not. Unlike other entity types, walls are resistant to projectiles and will take a long time to destroy. The best way to take out a wall is with melee types. A wall's beams will damage enemy units. A good thing to know about cannons and shooters is that they're able to shoot through their own entities and walls, but they cannot shoot through any other node type. That includes itself, the cannon. Onto the controls menu, if you find yourself lost, you can click the teleport to headquarters button. This is only useful on extremely large maps where you just might find yourself losing track of where your base went. Next we have the settings button, which pulls up a dialog where you can toggle the dark theme, you can adjust your resolution, and you can adjust smoothness. The third button, and the most important button, is the surrender button. When I click this, my entire base will decay. What's left is material. Material can be gathered by minions, in larger supplies than they can be gathered straight from the creep. They can also be gathered by miners. You can deposit all of this back to your base. The fourth button, which you do not see here, is going to be a question mark, leading you to this video. A miner can mine for a long time. You can extract the material out of a miner by right-clicking your minions on top of the miner. Although, you may not want to empty your miner, because a miner can explode when dying, depending on how much material it has in it. The poison cloud will slowly kill all enemies within a certain range. Deflectors are great for distracting enemy defenses. Shooters are your all-around offensive beat-down troop. I can merge troops by selecting them and right-clicking them onto one of his buddies. The right-sized minions are great on the offensive. The correct combination of these different troop types is up to you, and I hope you find your perfect strategy. Oh, and by double-clicking empty space, you can send a message. Please don't abuse this. Have fun, everybody.